Welcome to the show. Welcome everybody. Welcome Marc Falzon. Falzon. Welcome
Falzon.
Falzon. Welcome to the show.
Falzon. I think so. I think it's Falzon.
I'll have to ask your mother.
Yeah, exactly.
So where are you right now?
So right now I am in California with my friend David, who is sitting across from me over there.
Hi, David.
And
hello.
Yeah, this is now an interview of David.
Yeah.
And we're at a restaurant that accepts Bitcoin Cash, which I thought would be a better background than just a boring room. So having a nice little lunch and yeah.
Yeah, it's nice over there. Do you have a bitchino? It doesn't really flow off the tongue, but in Australia they have like a cappuccino. I'm sure you've seen it on social media, where it's like a stencil cutout of the Bitcoin Cash logo.
Oh.
And it's like a BCH.
Yeah, I mean,
BCH,
I just like my coffee boring and bitter.
Boring
so I
and
don't do any of those like fancy, highfalutin drinks.
It looks good on Twitter and Instagram though. So.
That's right. Yeah, if you want to grow your Instagram or Twitter, you just need to drink overpriced, spiced lattes and stuff.
Yes, exactly. So, you're obviously new to the Bitcoin Cash world. Like, I would say, what is it, like a month? And so,
it's not even a month. I think I'm at day 18 or something.
Yeah. Speaking of, we have this video that kind of sums up your experience here, so we'll check that out.
Yeah.
Trying to install and use Bitcoin for the first time. So today I'm coming to Flipstarter for the first time after just hearing about it.
We got another one.
Dude, what the hell?
I'm not holding my breath, but yeah, so still at 98.
The prophecy is true.
So you two are obviously memeing each other, which is wonderful. We need more cool guys in Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
So your first video was this one where total beginner gets a Bitcoin wallet, and then you get the bitcoin.com wallet and basically just go through it. David sends you some money through like a link and through a QR code and a whole bunch of stuff. So that was a very interesting experience. I know a lot of people like that. I literally had like Corbin on the show like a day or two after this came out, and they're saying how much he liked it. So check that episode if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Corbin's a nice guy. Yeah, he is. So I guess we should probably back up a little bit here. So I mean, David's obviously your friend, and so he just like encouraged you to download the wallet and he'll send you money?
Yeah, well, what happened is he challenged me to download the wallet and I think he sent me like $100 or something just to go through and record my experiences. And at that point, I had heard the word Bitcoin, obviously, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to buy it. I never heard the word wallet. And it was just a blind experience going in, not even knowing that there was a difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash or any of that was completely alien.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's always handy when like somebody's like, "Hey, I'll give you money if you do this." So. Yeah,
exactly. It's a good motivator.
Yeah, I mean that's like the classic like Bitcoin Jesus Roger thing where he just like gives out money to people like, "Hey, download this wallet and I'll send you $10." Like, okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, as far we do have a question. Is that the Crepes Bakersfield place that you're at right now?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
yeah.
It is. All right. Bitcoin Cassie's from Southern California. Just commented on YouTube. So
yeah, that's where we are. They're really tasty, and they're actually going to be in my upcoming video where I detail my experience of doing a flip starter for the first time.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Trust me, we'll get into that.
Skipping ahead.
Yeah, we're skipping ahead to day 18. We're still on like day 1 here, and so as far as like, I mean, you obviously go through a bunch of pain points in this video, but what did you find was like the easiest, the most intuitive way to get into this?
Well, having used the Bitcoin wallet now and thinking back to when I used it for the first time, I've come to realize that the bitcoin.com wallet that I used in the video is significantly more user-friendly than, let's say, Exodus or some of the other wallets that I've seen since then.
Yeah.
So at the time, there were things I didn't understand, and I've kind of seen that was so much easier than if I was put into any other wallet. I would have struggled a lot more. The other thing is, I'll say, with the bitcoin.com wallet that I was using in that video, some of the problems that I pointed out have been addressed in just 2 weeks. So for example, one of the things is you can now take a screenshot of a QR code or a photo of it and then scan it.
Yeah.
But before you couldn't do that. You couldn't just access your media in your photos and then access it. So that was really cool to see how fast they've turned around some of those things to make it more accessible for people like me who, even now, I still don't really get Exodus and some of those other wallets.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was like that gallery thing was a long time coming. I would assume, but like, I that's even useful for me because, like, I mean, obviously, if you're just like on your phone, you don't have a computer. Like, how do you get this QR code into a wallet? And you need them to send you their long address in like a text message, and you copy the address.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is the first wallet that actually has anything like that, which again is absolutely like super useful. I used it to send to some reporter in Fresno today because I was just like laying in bed. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was really cool. And so yeah, as far as like user friendliness, I think bitcoin.com wallet has gotten it. I'm sure we'll get into this too, but like the BCH BTC thing, bitcoin.com wallet ironically isn't a very good BTC wallet. I don't know if you've kind of came to that conclusion yet. And so I love the bitcoin.com guys, but this is like a whole technical discussion on block confirmations and all that stuff. But basically, bitcoin.com always like puts like the highest fee to get into the next block when sometimes you don't need it. And so other wallets lets you customize it more. But then this all ties back to the thing like somebody like you, like a new person, shouldn't ever have to worry about something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, totally. One of the common mistakes in software, and I tweeted about this, is looking at it through the perspective of someone who's onboarding into the technology. But you need to look at the user journey of someone coming in fresh and raw for the first time, because the pain points that I have are obviously not going to be the same pain points that someone like you or David has. So who's going to win in the long run are the, let's say, software or businesses that really look at my struggles. And when I say my, I don't mean me literally, but any new user, and then addressing those issues, because then it becomes very easy.
Right.
Most users don't get beyond the beginner stages.
Right.
So you always want to focus at the beginner.
Yeah. It's funny because like when Bitcoin Cash people get first onboarded, it's like you're encouraged to spend it, right? To go like find places to use this new money.
Yeah.
And when you get like the BTC people, it's like it seems like a lot of their first experience is buying it from an exchange and just like holding it there, and that's the extent of their experience. Because they don't. I mean, if you send BTC a couple times, you like lose a ton of money just from transaction fees, and so yeah, it's always funny to see those two like play out. I mean, I know there's some like moving on a little bit here, and then so your next video was surviving 72 hours with Bitcoin as a total newbie, and this is kind of where you went through and used BTC and BCH. You probably used BTC a little bit more in it anyways. I think you spent like $3 to buy a $15 gift card and stuff like that. And so, that whole like onboarding between the two coins is like drastically different even, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, the timing right now is so unique because, you know, I got into crypto because of a little fun challenge from my friend. But what's happening is, you know, you saw with Pornhub, how they're blocking credit card payments, or I should say credit card companies are blocking them. So it's sort of like once you have a compelling reason to try something, if it's easy enough, then you stay in it. And what I noticed with YouTube or the content surrounding Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash is like, it's all very technical. Oops. You still there?
Yep, still here.
All right. Anyway, all of the videos on YouTube were very technical. And I can imagine someone like wanting to pay for their Pornhub account and being like, oh, I have to go through all this stuff of getting wallets and downloading crypto. I've never used it. And going on YouTube and being like, wait a minute, this is actually really fun. I can, you know, travel with this. I can use it. There's all kinds of benefits to it.
Yeah. Speaking of Pornhub, they actually came out with a thing today that says they no longer can accept credit cards at the moment. And they're like default payment method is now crypto. And I might be able to find the screenshot of which ones, but they have right now their defaults are, here it is. Right now, what they can use is Puma Pay, whatever the hell that is, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, Ethereum, ETH Classic, Litecoin, Monero, NEM, Tether, Tron, Verge, Wave, Zcash. And so, I mean, point is oftentimes like pushing new technology, right? I mean, the whole classic like VHS versus.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I think the timing is just perfect. And I'm very thankful that it happened now too, because this is just when I'm getting into it and when I'm just starting to make content about Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, that now people are going to be using it more often.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of like the whole, yeah. And so like, it's so hard for me to like talk to like a new I mean, it is, but it isn't, because like you're obviously kind of falling into the rabbit hole. And then like so many of these issues tie back to what Bitcoin's used for. Again, it's like a payment method or digital gold. And that all relates to the Bitcoin scaling debate, which I'm sure you've heard mentions of. I don't know how deep you went into that, but that was a whole shit show. And so, yeah.
I mean, I am aware of all that stuff, but to be totally frank, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. And I don't know if I will care later, but for me, it's just, there's certain benefits to different coins. And I have two. I have Bitcoin and I have Bitcoin Cash, not any real money, but enough to do videos and stuff. And I don't think people coming in new care either. And I think that it puts people off, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this, when you post something about Bitcoin Cash, you have the people like, you're getting scammed, like Bitcoin Cash is a scam and all that. Like, how's like that experience been?
I mean, people attach, for good reason or not, their own personal feelings on something that's effectively, I mean, it's exciting because it's new, but in a way it's boring. It's just a new form of, it's currency. Like, why would I yell and argue that yen is better than USD? They're just different forms of currency. Some places take others. You know, maybe with Bitcoin, you want to hold it and not buy stuff with it as much. And Bitcoin Cash is better for buying stuff, whatever. I just don't care. And when I post something online or on Twitter about me being excited about using this currency, and I get flooded by people who hate one currency, it's like, okay, good for you. Like, you're so personally attached to something that you don't realize you're pushing people away from all cryptocurrencies because you're so aggressive against one of them. You know, like specifically with Bitcoin Cash, I've noticed a lot of people are very angry about the name Bitcoin Cash. Get over it. Who cares?
Yeah,
who cares?
That's actually my next question is, like, you were calling it BitCash in your video, which like,
oh yeah,
and that makes people mad on every side. And so I don't know if you know the history of like the word Bcash, right? Is it basically was like first around when Bitcoin Cash was first created because the Bitcoin people didn't want Bitcoin Cash to have the word Bitcoin in it, and so they just like called it Bcash. And so the same thing is going on when you call it BitCash. Again, like, to me, it's valuable information. Like, maybe that is decent branding, like BitCash, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Bitcoin Cash is 3 words. I mean, it's 3 syllables.
Here's
I mean,
here's my feeling on it. All right. I said BitCash in my video a lot because it's easy to say, and it wasn't intentional. It's new to me.
Right.
I've come to realize that there's certain stigmas attached to these different wordings. In my opinion, it's sort of like the debate that farmers get into about, well, it's not really milk, so you shouldn't call it almond milk, right? Like, don't call it almond milk, call it almond drink. It's sort of like, dude, who cares? Yeah. Like, the farmers say, well, it's going to trick people. People are going to think that it's made of cow if it has the word milk in it. It's like, okay, so let's not call peanut butter butter anymore. Let's call it peanut spread. It's like, come on, get over it. Who cares? For me, I like the idea of it. You know, call it Bitcoin Cash, whatever, and then make the colloquial version of it BitCash, like the shortened version. Whatever. I don't know. I don't have a horse in the race enough to really care. But I think that both sides are a little kind of ridiculous, especially the Bitcoin side, who are so angry at the name Bitcoin Cash. When I recorded my video, not knowing either or, I knew that they were 2 different things. You know, they're saying, oh, they're scammers. They're trying to trick people by using the name. I knew they were different. It's like farmers saying dairy milk and almond milk, like, oh, you're tricking people. It's a scam. Almond milk is a scam. It's like, come on. Seriously? Is that what you're whining about? Don't be a baby.
Don't be a baby.
Anyway, that's my feeling.
No,
on it
no,
all.
please,
So
no.
it's so ridiculous.
No, it's good. It's always nice to have a new, fresh perspective on it from like the outside, because I mean, I suppose I'm in like the marketing arm of Bitcoin Cash, if you want to call it that, and so I would love to spread it out to new people. I know a lot of my shows are very technical, and sometimes they're not, and I would like to do less technical shows and reach more people. So yeah, your type of insights are extremely valuable to myself and other people that should be promoting Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like, yeah, the almond milk one is like a perfect example of that. I mean,
Yeah.
what is milk really, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's, words change, words evolve. No one's being tricked. Anyway, that's what I feel. And maybe there's a argument against it, but
yeah. So yeah, backing up even further, when it comes to Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, the difference, like how soon did you know they were like different?
I mean, I knew right away looking at the wallet when I downloaded it that they were obviously different.
Yeah.
I didn't know to what degree. I didn't know if...
But you knew they were different. That's the important part.
I knew it was different. I didn't know if I didn't even know that cryptocurrency wasn't centralized. So I thought maybe there's a big company that is like Visa, and they produce Bitcoin, and they produce Bitcoin Cash, and they produce Tether, and they produce all that. I don't know. Maybe the wallet is what creates it. But I knew that they were different.
Right.
And you can obviously see they're different because the prices are different. There's no question,
Yeah.
If it were both the same price, I would understand. But one is $300 at the time that I was recording the video, and the other's $18,000.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can tell which one theoretically I would want to buy if I wanted to get part of this Bitcoin gold rush or whatever.
Bitcoin Gold's another Bitcoin, actually.
Of course it is.
There's a whole bunch. There's Bitcoin Diamond.
Bitcoin
There's
Premium.
Oh, I'm sure that's what. I'm sure if you Google it, there's somebody trying to scam people, actual scams with that sort of stuff. And
so ridiculous.
Yeah, and so I ran a test kind of to show you just like firsthand. So I posted your video, the surviving 72 hours, on our BTC, the Bitcoin Cash server, and our Bitcoin.
Yep.
And you used BTC more in the video, and then the shit got deleted off the our Bitcoin within like 2 hours or something, which I knew was gonna happen. I just wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the moderator of our Bitcoin, I follow on Twitter, and he's very nice to me. He's very warm,
actually,
and he has what he believes to be, let's say, reasonable reasons why my videos that are posted there are taken down. I just don't agree with them. The first one, maybe. But the second, again, like you pointed out, that 72 hours, most of the video is Bitcoin. Most of it. In fact, the only time I use Bitcoin Cash is when I got the hotel, which there was a problem with. That's not a problem with Bitcoin Cash, and the problem got resolved. But the point is, like, the video is very heavily pro Bitcoin, and I guess you could even say it even maybe in a way makes Bitcoin Cash look bad. And that was posted on there, not by me, by someone, and it was deleted.
It was me.
And I tweeted out about that, and that mod was like, well, it's only 20% Bitcoin. I'm like, no, it's at minimum 50-50 Bitcoin Cash. They said, well, even that ratio is still not good enough. So, okay.
It needs to be 1.5% Bitcoin Cash because that's the price ratio.
I mean, again, the guy is very nice, and he's helpful to me, and I like the guy a lot. But there's obviously, and he says there's not, but there's obviously a personal vendetta against Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, that history goes all the way back from like 2013, like big block versus small block, and the like main fighting happened in that subreddit. So it's like a PTSD almost.
Yeah, but again, like, imagine this, right? I'm a beginner. I'm coming in, and I find our Bitcoin and our BTC. All my stuff, with me not understanding why, me having no idea what's going on, all my stuff gets taken down from our Bitcoin. Why would I want to join that community? Why would I want to put effort into creating content for a community that constantly blacklists everything that I put up? It's not like I'm self-promoting. Other people are posting it, not me. And the answer is I won't. Like, why would I want to spend my time going to businesses and saying, hey, you should get Bitcoin, if every time I talk about Bitcoin, all my stuff gets taken down? No, I'm going to say you should get Bitcoin Cash because that community will actually promote me, and I have a vested interest in being promoted because it grows my channel. So of course I'm going to prefer one currency over the other.
Yeah, for sure. Some other thing you did in this video, you posted an Instagram ad for like personal chef. Did that ever come through?
Yes, it did. So that's not on the video, but I ended up getting, I actually got a bunch of cookies from it. I had 2 people that wanted to cook for me dinner, but my challenge ended. So I bought cookies with that ad. I had two people that wanted to do dinner for me that night, but again, I was leaving Philadelphia at that point, so that part of it didn't come through. The other thing is, you get a lot of video over 3 days, and you can only put so much in.
Yeah, of course.
To the final product, but it's amazing to know that pretty much anywhere you go, there are people who love Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So if you need anything, you can just run Instagram ads for $5 and basically get anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's like such a crazy thing. How much? So, like, what's the reach on? I mean, you obviously reached the right people, but like $5 and like how many? Like, what was the impressions like on that? I can't believe it goes that far.
Yeah, I mean, so basically you run an Instagram ad as a story.
Yeah.
And you can set your radius to like 5 miles. And then you just target people who like cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. It's like 4,000 people. And reaching 4,000 people is like 10, 20 bucks. You don't even need to reach that many people. You just reach like 500 and say what you need in the ad. And those people who like Bitcoin that are within 5 miles will see it. And a certain percentage of them are going to respond to you.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a commercial interest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a new one for sure. Yeah, I think David posted something like that a while ago too. Did some Instagram ad like that. So.
That's how he found his driver.
Oh yeah.
When he was in, I think, Nicaragua.
Oh yeah, that would be a good spot to do. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so, you ran a flip starter, and so,
yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I've run a couple flip starters. No, I haven't delivered on any of them yet. I'm still working on it. Calm down, everybody. But one is for a Bitcoin documentary, and it's gonna be. I'll be going to South Sudan and Venezuela at some point. And you just did a flip starter for going to Venezuela to live on Bitcoin Cash. And so, first of all, congratulations on funding that.
Thank you very much.
It's amazing to have something like that happen within 2 weeks of being in crypto at all. So
yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, what are your plans for Venezuela?
So with the flip starter, David suggested it when I was already down here. David's a good friend of mine. I wanted to visit him. He is working on a bunch of cool stuff. So he actually flew me out to help him. And he said, hey man, why don't we put up a flip starter for you? And within 72 hours, it was funded, which is just unfathomable. That would not happen in any other community or any other GoFundMe or Kickstarter. Flipstarter, it happened, but nowhere else. So it got funded. And what I'm going to be doing are these, 72 hours in type videos. The next will be 72 hours in Venezuela. And I'm going to be going to other places as well. So Venezuela will be the first where I produce this. I will absolutely be going to Hong Kong as part of this, because what's happening in Hong Kong, I don't know if you follow what's happening there very closely, but there's a pro-democracy newspaper called Apple Daily, and they're the only ones standing up in the media to China. They just arrested the CEO of Apple Daily like a few days ago, 1 or 2 days ago, and froze all of his money, but also all of his family's money. So
Holy
all
shit.
the bank accounts in the whole family closed, shut down. Okay. Now imagine if he had cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Imagine if his family had cryptocurrency, right? The reason for adoption when I first started this is like, oh, cool, I can make some money. But things are progressing. We now have credit card companies in the US dictating what you can buy and not buy with your own money. Really? We have foreign countries, which are world superpowers, that are shutting down not just bank accounts of you if you say naughty words against them, but shut down the bank accounts of everyone in your family. There's this old punishment in ancient China. I lived in China for many years, so I'm kind of familiar a little bit with Chinese culture. If you were to offend the emperor, there were 3 generations, all the way up to 9 generations that would be punished. So 9 generations up and down, all killed, or all, whatever the punishment is. And we're seeing that today in 2020 in Hong Kong, one of the, a few years ago, one of the freest markets in the world. So, I mean, this needs to be adopted, especially in places like Hong Kong. So to give a very long-winded answer to your question, the original Flipstarter is 5 videos in Venezuela, but I realized, especially because of the Hong Kong thing, 1 video Venezuela, 1 video Hong Kong, and I need to go to many places because this is beyond just one country, Venezuela. This is big. This is something that people need to know about. And in my opinion, that's going to happen with fun, goofy, entertaining videos. But there needs to be elements of like, hey, man, if you're in Hong Kong, your family's not safe. And they're not. Mm-hmm. And I hope the Chinese government doesn't see this video before I go back to Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's the thing with Venezuela, too. I hope you got your logistics down. And yeah, we do have people in Bitcoin Cash that are in Venezuela. So if you need whatever you need in Venezuela, we could probably get that coordinated safely. So feel free to reach out to me.
And I'm going to make sure that all of the Bitcoin Cash is accounted for and kind of all 5 videos are paid ahead of time. So when I go down there, I don't have any money really left.
Yep. Yeah.
Back to debt left.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the plan when I go down there is definitely get a small little DSLR and not bring any cinema camera with and keep it low key and everything. So, yeah, and good luck getting into Venezuela. First with the sanctions for U.S. in Venezuela. They don't really like each other right now. And then the second one is coronavirus, of course, is probably shutting down. I know my plan was to travel to Colombia and then cross the border into Venezuela. But right now, the Colombia flights are all shut down because of Corona. So Venezuela is on hold for me as of right now. But definitely will be interested to see what research you do.
Well, I don't know when I'm going to go. I might go to other cities and other countries first before Venezuela. Like I might go to Hong Kong first and see what happens with some of the issues in Venezuela, or maybe I might just jump in. I haven't really decided. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I didn't really expect to raise the money. And I was going to do these videos anyway. That was the thing. I was going to go to these countries and continue my little videos. And it got funded. So it's like, okay, well now I need to sit down and really book everything out and figure out when I'm going to go and how I'm going to deliver all of this stuff, because I want to do it quick. I want to deliver everything fast. But I also don't want to get down there and be trapped for 6 months,
Yeah, of course.
So we'll see. I got to figure all that out.
Yes, definitely. One other, somebody asked, have you used other cryptos besides Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash?
I've used Nano. Well, I shouldn't say I've used it. I've had people give me some Nano, on Twitter. And I've had someone give me a little bit of Lightning, but I've never used Nano or Lightning, and I don't know how they work yet. But I will at some point be doing some kind of video playing with those other cryptos.
Sure. Yeah, that was actually going to be a question I asked. I know people have tried to show you the Lightning Network, so I was wondering if you've messed with that at all. You're just received and haven't really done anything yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the reality is, I've kind of said it before, I like the idea of cryptocurrency because of what's happening in Hong Kong, because of some of the humanitarian aspects of it. Mm-hmm. But to me, again, it's just it's a form of currency, just like anything else. And to me, it's a form of currency that's, let's say, more beneficial to mankind than carrying just a wallet full of $1 bills.
Right.
But I don't want my videos being technical. I don't want to do here's a video on Lightning and how to use Lightning. Here's one on Nano, how to do that. Here's one on Ethereum. I want to do videos that show hey, you can have fun, you can travel, you can do great stuff, you can meet cool people, all from cryptocurrency. And frankly, the Bitcoin Cash community is the community that's, let's say, supporting me to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's the community
Sure.
And that's the currency I'm going to be focusing on
Sure.
primarily.
Yeah, makes
You know,
sense.
if Bitcoin came and gave me $15,000, sure, I'd only be talking about them.
Yeah.
And it's just economics, you know.
Yeah, so I went to Australia last year for a Bitcoin Cash conference, and I'm sure you've probably seen adoption efforts there. And that's probably like the highest concentration of like people like actually accepting Bitcoin Cash and not just like gift cards and stuff, like actual brick and mortars with their own point of sales.
Yeah.
And so like I went there, I filmed for my documentary there, but yeah, I literally like just spent Bitcoin Cash like everywhere. It was absolutely just like mind blowing because like you don't have to deal with the exchange rates of all this Australian to US dollars, and like you just pull out your phone and pay. Is just like it's really surreal like when you do it in a foreign country. Like it's like wow,
it's awesome.
I could do this like anywhere, and I mean, it's so surreal. I mean, every time you pay for something with Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin, whatever, in person,
it is very surreal. It's great.
It's great. It never gets old. So maybe someday, if everybody's using it, it might get a little old. But
what's really cool is you know, I've kind of seen more of the benefits of it, and I guess you could say my 9 to 5 is I run an SEO business.
Oh, nice.
So over the next couple weeks, we're going to be converting our business to accepting cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash.
Nice.
And we're going to be starting to pay some of our employees in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash.
Awesome.
So that's going to be really exciting. And I'll tweet about that once that kind of develops. But
awesome. Might have to hit you up on that. I need some better advertising for my production company.
yeah, get some SEO.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely need it. It's pretty saturated here in Atlanta, so I got to stand out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so, yeah, it's funny because like I would specifically in like, well, Tokyo too, I went to a couple of years ago, and I would hire people there, and I would always say, hey, I'll pay you a little bit more if I can pay you in crypto, right? Because of course people are sometimes like scared of it. They just want their native currency. But I remember sending a wire to Tokyo one time. It was like a $60 ACH fee, just like absolutely ridiculous. Just like those fees, and like when you.
Well, here's the thing. I have this. One of the writers I have for my business, really competent guy, really good. The problem is he lives in New Zealand. And when I go to pay him on PayPal, not only do I get charged a fee to send him his money, a significant fee, but they also have an exchange rate, and their exchange rate is terrible. Mm-hmm. So when I use PayPal, it's like PayPal is going to take my money, percentage of it, and they're going to do this conversion rate, which is not what the market is.
Yeah.
Like they're going to charge me a percentage on top of a percentage and a fee.
Right.
And it's ridiculous. It's like I end up paying this guy $50 more than I need to.
Right.
And there's nothing I can do about it until now.
Now.
That's really useful.
Now you can say you can pay him like $25 extra. If you pay him in crypto.
Exactly.
So. I've definitely done that before. So, but yeah, kind of circling back to like the humanitarian aspects of it. I mean, like originally I got into it because like the whole like libertarian. I mean, I guess that's humanitarian. Libertarian is the freedom of money, right? It's just nobody can shut down your bank account. And I mean, being in the space for a while, you can kind of get lost in the technicals and well, this is better because of this. But yeah, it is always because of the humanitarian. I think Bitcoin Cash has the best chance of changing the world through a humanitarian lens, and that's why I'm actively promoting it. And so it's great to see like you're picking up on that humanitarian thing, because you see so many like crypto YouTubers, and literally all they do, I don't know if you like dove into that rabbit hole, is they just like sit in front of a chart and just like draw lines, right? And just like buy here and like sell here. We have this channel going down here in the Fibonacci at the 0.067% would be a great time to. It's just like a bunch of bullshit like that, right? And so it's great to see another YouTuber, soon to be crypto YouTuber. I guess you kind of are a crypto YouTuber already, jumping on that humanitarian aspect of it, because it is severely lacking, because the whole space has been taken over by like these speculative people, right? And I mean that's gonna happen when you're literally talking about like a money. You can make money in it, but yeah, it's great to see that like humanitarian thing come through, and that's what it's always been about, right? And there's like the Ponzi people have kind of jumped in, and now everybody's cheering for the institutional investors that throw hundreds of millions of dollars into Bitcoin. Like, yeah, we're getting rich. It's like, yeah, but it'd be better if there was 100,000 merchants accepting it now, right? Like that's better for the world than some company throwing $100 million of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So
yeah, well, hopefully that brings some of those merchants in. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like the price rise helps with awareness just because it's in more news cycles and stuff like that. But yeah. I mean, again, so like thank you for like actually being like focused on the humanitarian aspect of it. I think that should be and always has been and always should be the #1 priority for crypto. So
yeah, totally, man. Yeah, it's just I'm not really interested in doing videos about finances. So if there's not anything beyond finances, and there's not really a reason for me to create content about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. Yeah, just don't start like drawing lines on charts and shit. That's speaking of
unlikely.
Yeah,
unlikely.
I got a great chart. I want to show you and see what your trader thoughts on it. Let me find it real quick. I think it's this one. All right. So it should be popping up here. Okay, so I got these rainbow charts here, and obviously you can tell by the
looks like the Weather Channel.
Yeah, obviously you can tell by the Fibonacci sequence here that we're going to the moon soon. So would that be your conclusion on my lines?
If we're going to the moon, I want to ride a Tesla to it.
There you go.
Launch me into space with a Tesla.
Launch me into space with the Tesla. Speaking of, I was on a music video with Tesla the other day with the doors that go like this. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And the giant like two iPads as the center console. They were like playing video games on it. Just like so ridiculous.
So wild.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of. You have any questions for me?
Questions for you. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Flip the interview around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest stop of merchants and businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash? And what can someone like me who produces content about it do to, let's say, reduce those objections?
Right. Well, we'll start with the first part. I think the biggest stop is the customers. If nobody wants to pay using Bitcoin Cash, then why would they ever accept it? And so, for me, I mean, maybe this is just an excuse I make up myself, but being in Atlanta, in a big city, I would find it extremely difficult to get many merchants to accept Bitcoin Cash, because if I'm the only one going to these places and paying with Bitcoin Cash, like that's not a huge incentive when they're doing 1,000 customers a day and you have one every couple of weeks. That's not going to do it. And so what can people like you do to do that? I mean, I guess frequent the same spots all the time, but then it's not really like spreading. Then it's not really like spreading the adoption. And so I think it's like an exponential thing. One thing people have thought of, I don't know if it's implemented quite yet, but it's like an onboarding fee. Thanks for the honk. It's SLP token.
It's an SLP token.
Yeah.
I don't know what SLP token is.
It's a token built on top of Bitcoin Cash, like Spice.
Okay.
Do you know Spice?
Nope.
All right, it's in the Telegram channels, but it's basically another coin on top of Bitcoin Cash using the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. So it's like if you send a honk token or a Spice token, it's the same transaction fee as a regular Bitcoin Cash transaction.
Okay.
So
cool.
That's honk. And so yeah, I mean, I guess like coming over that obstacle is really the hard part, right? I mean, that's kind of the golden age question. Is like, how do we get more? Oh, I guess I got to finish my thought. Is the people that onboard a business? So say you go and onboard a coffee shop. Say every time they hit a Bitcoin Cash transaction, you get a percentage of that Bitcoin Cash transaction as the onboarder. So I thought that could be like an exponential way to kind of incentivize people to start onboarding.
I can see that for sure.
It says, I trust you to forward those honks to Marc. Yeah, you got it. I'll send him all the honks you send me.
I like that you made the sound of getting the honks a honk.
Yeah, of course. Honk, honk, honk.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, so I think that's the best idea I've heard for incentivizing onboarding. But yeah, it's a matter of like getting people to want to spend their Bitcoin Cash as well. And so I'd be curious what you think is kind of the best way to encourage people to use Bitcoin Cash.
To use it. That's interesting. I'm not sure what we could do. I mean, I use it because it's super convenient and I have Bitcoin Cash. So if I go somewhere and they accept it, I'm gonna pay. I don't know if that's just because I'm new and it's exciting, and that novelty will wear off.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it does it as a user.
And I mean, a lot of it is just convenience.
Yeah, and so I mean, one thing you could do is like a slight discount because, for example, credit cards charge like 2.5% to the merchant, right? And so technically, the merchant could do 2.5% off if you pay in Bitcoin or crypto, right?
That's true. That's actually with my, like I was saying, with my FCO business, we're giving a pretty nice discount to our customers who are going to be paying in crypto. So yeah, I mean, our clients, for them, it makes total sense. Like, oh yeah, instead of just giving him, $3,000 a month, let me buy crypto and only give him 28.
Right.
So yeah, those discounts really make a difference again, because for me, accepting it as a merchant, there's less risk of a chargeback. There's less fees that I have to pay to PayPal and to Stripe. And I mean, the discount makes total sense.
Right. Yeah, I'd say the discount too. And so, but somebody did say you, Mark, could create your own cryptocurrency token if you want on SLP. So I'm sure David knows how to do that. So I think he sent me some.
Marc coin. It's Marc coin. I like it.
That's the next rabbit hole you can fall down. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. There won't be no businesses till there's consumer demand. It won't be consumer demand till there's no businesses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, yeah, what you said makes a lot of sense. Just giving the discount. If it makes more money for the consumers and for the businesses, then yeah, people are going to use it more. I'm going to use it more.
Yeah, and also, yeah, I didn't think of this before, but meetups are a big way to onboard a company or like a restaurant, right? Because if you have like a Bitcoin Cash meetup and there's 30 people that pay in Bitcoin Cash, well, they're now incentivized to start accepting Bitcoin Cash. So that makes sense. Definitely a way to do that. VPNs, purse, hosting, etc. So and the transition from fiat to crypto needs to be much cheaper. Less than a penny would be ideal. Yeah, it's definitely like there's definitely fees when you buy crypto with fiat, which is a problem. Unless you're doing over the counter, which is a little more difficult, but
yes. Yeah, that's really big. I mean, I hate the idea of going to a restaurant and tipping and them having to report the tips. I mean, that only happens with credit card. It doesn't happen in cash, right? So one of the problems is if you go to a restaurant and you want to give them $5 and you pay by credit card because you don't have cash with you, you know that person, first off, their tips might get pooled. So your waitress might not even get all of their tip. But the other part is, again, it gets reported and then they lose some of that tip. So tipping your waitress or whatever in crypto, first off, they get their money. Unless you're tipping in Bitcoin, then they only get like $1 because of all the fees. But if it's Bitcoin Cash, they actually get all of their money. Yeah. And then they have money in a wallet and they're like, oh, what am I going to do with this? Then they spend it. Or even better, over time, the cost of the amount of money, that $5 turns into $10. And like, oh my God, I'm making money. Yeah. I need to buy more of this.
Yeah. One time I gave a paper wallet to an adult dancer. I don't think she ever claimed it. She's like, what the hell? Like, all right, here's $5 regular bucks too.
Yeah. Well, when I've done my challenge in Philly, like everyone I went to and tipped them in Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin, they were thrilled. It was fun and novel for them, and they had money in it. One coffee shop I went to, they're like, "Oh, this is so cool. Thank you." I gave her, I think, $10. Like, where can I learn more about this? And she's a manager there, so there's a chance that business might start accepting it if they look into it. So on just a one-to-one scale, just tipping in it can make such a big difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think tipping. I've said this many times. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to gain momentum like from the ground up, right? It's from people like you and people like other people just tipping random people, right? And while BTC's adoption right now is coming from the top down, from these huge institutional investors, and so I think Bitcoin Cash can be a complete opposite way. I think the Bitcoin Cash ways has always been the right way to do it. This whole Bitcoin civil war and Bitcoin Cash happened kind of put us many years behind, and so it's kind of a game of catch up right now. I mean, and so, but the way from the ground up is like the way you actually build like a new financial system. In my opinion, is everybody's getting this coin from the ground up, and then people that are last are the institution, right? Like, oh shit, we didn't do this in time, because right now you see this institution coming into BTC, and it's like okay, like we did it, like right, like what's next, like right, like what's next, like yeah. So definitely
Totally.
yeah. If you have any other questions in the chat, what kind of car are you in? Looks like a nice car.
What kind of car is this, David?
A Z350
Nice.
Nissan.
He said a Lamborghini.
Yeah,
350.
looks like a Lambo from the back window.
Yeah. Little Nissan. Old Pokemon car.
Old Pokemon car. All right. See ya. Might have lost the internet there. But I was going to wrap it up. Anyways, any other questions for Mark when he comes back on? Feel free to put them in the chat right now. Institutions coming to BCH soon. Don't count on it. Don't count on it. Hello. Yeah, he gone. He gone. Thoughts about the onboarding of the adult site? We did already go over that already in the beginning. So, see, right here. These are, right here's all the currencies accepting it right now. So, Puma Pay. I don't know what the hell Puma Pay is. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else know what Puma Pay is? Can I get Lil Windex on the show? Yeah, he needs to write another song for sure. Puma Pay, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Probably just a paid EU orange. Yeah, I know, right? It's gross. Orange. Green standard. The green standard. The green Bcash standard. All right. I think we lost Mark. Probably going through a tunnel in their Lamborghini or something. So I think I will wrap it up here unless he comes back in the next 30 seconds. So Puma Pay. Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, go follow Mark on Twitter. How was development progressing for ABC or not gone? I don't know. It's top of my head. To be honest with you, seems like it's going. Something. Pornhub changes policy concerning video upload and searches. How do you know that? Huh? Not worth a membership. Orange logo back. I will forward all those songs to Mark. So. I will forward all those songs to Mark. So yeah, go follow Mark on Twitter. He's got a bunch of videos coming out. It seems like he's gonna be traveling off, doing a lot of surviving on Bitcoin challenges. It's just awesome to see people, actually using Bitcoin in the real world. So go check him out on Twitter and subscribe to him on YouTube as well. And so seems like an awesome guy. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you all for tuning in. Bye bye.